Hey, hello, it's Mark Aylward here again, and this is a follow-up video to our first video on search engine optimization. And this one's going to focus more on what's called off-page SEO, or search engine optimization. And essentially what that is all the stuff that you can do off your site, on other people's sites, to drive interested people back to your site, and then hopefully get them to take action, enter their name and email address, buy something, whatever it is that you want them to do. But there is a ton of stuff you can do off page, so it's kind of difficult in a short video to boil it all down. But I picked 8 or 9 things that I think are pretty sure they're all free, with minor exceptions, and they're all fairly simple to do. Again, it's just a matter of time. And probably if you're just starting out, whether you're an offline business trying to get some exposure online, or an online business trying to establish yourself, you probably don't want to do all of these. You probably want to pick 2 or 3 maybe, and just get really good at them, and then pick up a 4th and then a 5th or what have you, because it's really the quality of the work that you do and the consistency with which you do it. So in no particular order, you have social bookmarking would be the first. And essentially, some of the places you've probably heard of are like Delicious or Stumble Upon or Dig or MySpace. There's a boatload of them. And there's also, and you're basically going to these sites and you're saying, I find this interesting, here's the link, and the link goes back to your site in some capacity because you have related information on your site to that particular topic. And some of these social bookmarking sites have such large audiences that if somebody catches wind and you've got something interesting or funny and it links back to your site, you're potentially tapping into a massive audience that you otherwise could not. And that's kind of what off-page SEO is. It's using other people's authority and audiences while you build your own. So that's social bookmarking in a nutshell. We'll expand on that in a different video. The next one is blog commenting. Essentially, it's finding blogs in your market, which you can just do by Googling what your market is and the word blog, and finding maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. So basically, when you find these people that are in your market, you basically go to their blog or subscribe to their RSS feed, which we'll talk about later. And as you read their posts, most of them at the bottom will have an opportunity for you to leave comments, and you would leave constructive, insightful, not just, hey, that was awesome. People, they don't need that kind of support, and they won't give you credit for that in most cases. Make an insightful comment, contribute to the community that is their blog, and they usually allow you to leave a link back to your site. And if you're insightful and you're interesting and you're informative, people may click on those links and come back to your site. So again, borrowing the authority of experts in your business. It's a good way to get to know those people as well, and if you support them, you might eventually partner with them in some capacity, which is another topic again all unto itself. The third area would be Web 2.0. Kind of a broad phrase that means different things to different people, but in my mind, these are sites, and I'll give you a couple of names: Hub Pages, Squidoo, Tumblr, Wet Paint, LiveJournal. Again, there are a number of them. It's not dissimilar to social bookmarking, where you're going off to sites that have particular areas where they kind of bring topics that are of interest together, but you're really building content. So these places are essentially other websites that you would build where you'd rent the space of a much larger audience. So you wouldn't own these sites, but you might write articles or you might write content about particular topics, categorize that, and then link it back to your site. Those are called Web 2.0 properties, and some of them are pretty powerful because Hub Pages and Squidoo in particular have massive audiences. So the next area would be guest posting. And so going back to blog commenting, let's say you've identified 4 or 5 blogs in your market that seem interesting to you, they seem of high quality, and it would appear that they have a large audience. You might want to contact the webmaster, the author, the owner of that site with an introductory email. Usually can be found on their blogs. You know, contact us and just say, I've been following your blog for quite some time. I'm very impressed with the content. I'm in the market myself, and I think I have some value to offer. I'd love the opportunity to post on your blog, and here's an example of the type of content that I might post. And if you are granted that invitation, and again, that will get into all these topics in more detail, your post would appear on that person's blog and link back to your blog, again, borrowing their audience, and you might also beginning the process of building a relationship to partner with that owner. The next one is pretty straightforward. It's just submission of your site or blog to the major directories, which are basically Yahoo, Bing, and Google. And there are a number of other directories out there. DMOZ, D-M-O-Z, is a big free one. They all have, some of these cost money. Yahoo directory costs, I think, $300. There's one called Best of the Web that's $150, one-time costs. So you may not want to jump in with those, but if you can list your blog or site with a directory, it grants you exposure. And over time, it probably would be wise to consider investing the money in doing things with Yahoo and places like Best of the Web. Next would be RSS aggregators, RSS feeds. And because this one always confused me at the beginning, I just popped up the Wikipedia definition of a news aggregator. And as you can see down here, all these phrases kind of mean the same thing. Feed reader, feed aggregator, news reader, RSS reader, blah, blah, blah. And it is software that aggregates syndicated web content such as news headlines, blogs, and podcasts in a single location for easy viewing. And I'll show you mine, or one of mine. So here's a bunch of guys that do internet marketing stuff, and I basically have subscribed to their RSS feeds, and what it does is it delivers their content to me in this format here. So by blog or by author, I get the latest posts, and I just scroll through them, and if there are any topics that are of interest to me, it's all right here, as opposed to getting individual emails from all these places and really overburdening yourself with just too much information. I can go through this 5-10 minutes and get the nuggets out of here in my marketplace, as opposed to spending 2 hours in my email. And so that's just the Google Reader. That's one of the ones I use. That's the nature of RSS feeds. So you may want to subscribe to some people in your market and just get all that stuff pumped to you in a condensed, more easily digestible format, I guess, for lack of a better phrase. The second and last one we'll share with you here is article marketing. And article marketing is just as it says. You're writing articles about your area of interest, and you're posting them on a number of different article marketing directories. eZine articles is the most popular as we speak. And you're basically putting an article of content, again, relevant content on a very large site with a huge audience in particular categories of information, hoping that people interested in that information will read your articles because they're interesting. And at the bottom of the article, in what's called the author's resource box, most often, you'll put links back to your site and drive traffic that way. And over time, you'll find that some articles, if they're really good, be out there for a couple years and still bringing people to your site because the content is good enough to be of interest to them. And the last area is social media, and this might be the most popular one. This might be the one that you're most familiar with because it involves sites like Facebook and Twitter and YouTube. And again, those are all, particularly Facebook and YouTube, are massive topics in terms of training on how to use them to leverage your business. Suffice it to say, you should have a presence on all three of them. And YouTube I kind of look at, as well as Facebook, as separate social media topics. But linking all of these things together in some capacity and complementing each of these efforts with quality content, entertaining content, informational content, over a period of time will really drive a lot of interest back to wherever you want it to be driven, assuming it would be your blog or your website. You get good at a couple of these and your audience can grow pretty quickly. So I know that was a lot of information, and we'll break each one of those topics down into individual videos, but I hope that helped, and we'll see you in the next video.